there's something called the change curve. The change curve are the stages that the teachers need to go through to produce lasting change. So a lot of you were talking about how I want their ownership, I want buy-in, I want how to get teacher support, I want them to do more child-centered play. They're gonna, there's the 5 stages of grief, there's the 5 stages of lots of different things. They need to go through this in order to get to that commitment stage. So we start off with denial, which is just refusal to believe. So they'll be like, I don't understand why it's important to do that. Nitpicking, like, you put so much on our plate, we're not paid enough, you should pay us more, da 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 da. Like, they nitpick at everything because it's denial. Like, don't make me do this, don't make me do this, don't make me do this. And they nitpick at trivial things. So like, I told a teacher once to bring in more colors into the art center, and she's like, well, we don't have purple paint in our school. And I was like, denial, nitpicking at trivial things. Like, the minute she said that, I was like, ding, 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 ding. Like, telling me that you don't have purple paint in your school is not a reason to not bring in more colors into the classroom. So that's stage 1. Then we go into resistance, which is of overwhelm and avoidance of the accountability. So they'll tell you, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'll make the outdoor classroom. I'll do the documentation board. I'll meet with the parent. But then they'll come in and they'll say, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, there's so much to do. I don't have enough time to do it. And then they'll do like avoidance, like they'll leave early, they'll sneak out, they'll blame their colleagues. They'll say, no one's helping me. You don't have enough cleaning help. You need to hire more custodians. Just constantly pushing blame on other people. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I want this to be on your radar. So when you tell teachers things and you hear them saying this, you could take a deep breath and say, okay, they're just in stage 2. I just need to get them to the next stage. I just need to keep going, right? And we're gonna talk about how to bring them there. So when they're giving you the resistance, it's great. They're not in denial anymore. So that's a good thing. Like, we're moving, okay? Exploration is probably the most confusing stage as a director, because you're constantly getting mixed signals, because they're beginning to accept it, but they still need proof. So they'll do it, but then they'll push back. And then they'll do it, and then they'll push back again. So like sometimes you'll be like, oh, it's so amazing, the teacher finally got on board. And then 2 weeks later, you're like, what just happened? Why are you going back? Because they still need to prove it to themselves. It's not that they need proof from you. They need to prove it to themselves that they could do that. And then the last thing is commitment, and that's the stage that we want. They actively seek accountability and follow up. So an example would be, let's say when I was a teacher and I taught in Preschool of the Arts in the city, I actively sought the commitment piece about my own circle time. So I would constantly call on my boss and I'd say, hey, sorry, I want you to come in, I want you to observe my circle time, and I want you to give me feedback, okay? After the circle time, I'd sit down and I'd tell her, tell me, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Tell me what I should change. What should I do next? So that's commitment, because they're actively seeking that feedback. Like, I want to do better. I want to do better. So this is a good thing. Like when the teacher comes in and she'll say something like, I think I said something wrong to that parent or something like that. Don't pounce on her, because that's the commitment stage. She's owning up to that. And that's actually her way of saying, tell me how to do better. Because if she didn't come to you, she wouldn't be seeking that accountability if she wasn't in the commitment stage. So again, when a teacher comes and says something like, the child was crying today and I wasn't sure what to do, thanks so much for telling me that. Let's talk about that. What were some things that were going through your head when that was happening? Like, where was some of the confusion? Like, make her feel so special that she came and told you that, because she's seeking that. Yeah, Jacqueline, you had a question? Oh. So that's that commitment stage that we want the teacher to get through. So just by a show of hands, raise your hand if you've seen all of these stages in your school. Okay. And in different areas, you're going to see teachers in different places. So like, with building the culture, you might see some teachers in denial. Like, they're just like, our culture is great. And meanwhile, they come late every single day. No, not really. Like, that's not a good sign. So you're going to see teachers in different places. But for me, the biggest thing that I want you to walk away with is, when you hear the teacher saying these things, know that she's going through the stages.